Good morning in the Pacific time zone. Good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, depending on where you might be catching this live. I'm Valerie Shepard, Dr. Valerie Renee Shepard, coming to you live from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. Right now, located in the south of France, in the village of Puy-Vert. Yay! Life is good. Life is flow. Life is ease. Life is grace here. It's fantastic. And I am holding sacred space for you to be living your fantastic as well. Many, many blessings. Welcome to this segment of my Hump Day Happy Chat. And the whole idea with the Happy Chats is to give you some insights, some little nuggets of wisdom, some questions, some perspective on things you can do to make your life as magical and wonderful as you'd like it to be. And so I might bring up some questions. I might be answering questions that people have sent me online. I might be talking about things that come to me as I'm just bopping through life. And the happy chats are an opportunity for you to up level. My vision, my passion is for us all to be living in a world that works for everyone, where there is a lot more peace, love, and joy being experienced every day on every level in every corner. And so one person at a time, one heart at a time, one mind at a time is fine with me as long as we keep going to up-level ourselves so that we can actually up-level our planet. World that works for everyone. So today, Hump Day Habitat number 235, y'all. How to live the adventure. I was thinking about this because as people have been asking me, so how's it going? And I've been telling them all the things that have been happening here. It really did trigger this feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm on this wicked adventure. And then it got me thinking, like, when did this adventure start? When did this adventure start? And it really became quite clear to me that I have missed that I've been on an adventure for a very long time. I wasn't characterizing it as an adventure. I was characterizing it as something far less exquisite than that. And so this came to me as, well, maybe we'll touch on this in the happy chat as I reflected on it some more. So I love quotes. Anybody who's been around me a long time, if you look at my pages, if you spend any time with me, you know that I love quotes. So this one, if you think adventure is dangerous, try routine. It's lethal. If you think adventure is dangerous, try routine. It's lethal. That quote is from a very famous Brazilian author named Paulo Coelho. He wrote one of the books that I liked called The Alchemist. And as I think of myself as a spiritual alchemist, I really do embrace some of his work. Try routine. It's lethal. And I think that's really a critical nugget for what I said even prior to the quote, which was that I had been living a life that I wasn't really seeing as an adventure and was seeing as something different. I had gotten into the rut of the only thing my life is the routine. The routines are the things that my life is made up of. And in fact, it was that question around, is this it? You know, I think I mentioned in my book that I hit a point in my life and in my career where I was asking Great Spirit, the divine, God, my angels, my ancestors, really? There were several evenings when I would be just like distraught over, you gotta be kidding me. I did not come here for this. And it wasn't just that like, I wasn't trying to throw my life away. I wasn't saying that, never mind. It wasn't anything like that. And it wasn't that drastic and dramatic. It was just kind of really like, if I want more, like, where does that come from? Like, but what? Give me a thumbs up if you've had those moments of questioning. In 2019, I found this Time magazine article where they created a list of the 10 most groundbreaking adventures ever in the history of mankind. There were, cool things on there like the manned space mission and summiting Everest and the first crossing of the Atlantic in a solo flight, like things like that real things that had happened and that had really marked the outer edges of a frontier in a certain area. And somebody had just expanded beyond the frontier, like wicked stuff. And the first people to discover things, wicked stuff. What I really enjoyed reading too was they made a list of the 10 greatest adventures to come. How about that? A manned mission to Mars, or a human mission, person mission to Mars. How about time travel, which was like, that really excites me. I've always wanted to be a fly on the wall in different periods of time, seeing the real things that happened, not kind of how we piece together histories from other people's stories, but to experience them firsthand. How about extraterrestrial communication? That's a frontier that would be wicked. First, I guess you have to believe they're extraterrestrials, and then you got to figure out a way to create a communication channel. That feels pretty big. It feels pretty outside edge. It feels pretty expansive. Like, what has to happen between where we are now and that? And I think, when you put this on human individual terms, I think bucket lists are pretty similar to the 10 greatest adventures to come. I think people have started, well, I don't know when they started, but I have heard more about people talking about their bucket lists, things that, they want to do before they transition off the planet. And I don't think I really have one. I know what kinds of things I want to do. I'm not sure I put them under a heading called bucket list. It's not that it matters, but it's really cool. Except the question I always want to ask is, are we living in order to experience the things on our bucket list now? Meaning, are you actively pursuing those things? Or are they relegated to sometime when ... fill in the blank? When the kids have left home, when I've gotten my master's degree, when I've finished with this stage of my life, when I've made my first millions, when I get rid of this illness. Like, what is it? Are we really living those things now? Now is the only moment we have. Are we living those things now? Or are we relegating our adventure-filled life to some time out in the distance? I bet all of us know at least one person who actually sees life as the adventure, not some little trip. They're perpetually playing on the outer edge of their comfort zones, pushing their limits, taking risks, creating their own unique path with each decision they make. I have some acquaintances from high school, actually, who, when they first graduated from college, I believe, they would work to save up money to take an adventure. And it didn't matter when they had their first kids. The kids went too. It wasn't like, well, the kids are too young to travel. It was, oh no, we're doing this adventure. And it meant, and I'm not talking about a week or 2 weeks. I'm talking about save up money and move someplace for 2 years. A foreign country, in the hills, an adventure. Like they were living for the adventure, saving, creating, pulling it all together, and then going and doing it. Others, this is the group I'm in, or have been in the past, leaving some room for my growth in the present moment. Others insert adventure through vacations or some other short-term exposure to something off of their beaten path. That's me. In general, this means that we've got a lot of routine of life that rules kind of what we do. We insert the adventure into the routine where it fits, where it works, where it doesn't muck things up. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's just an observation. And that was feeling good to me most of the time. And then I started noticing how much I worked in order to make the vacation possible, and how much I worked on the backside of the vacation to catch up with all the things I missed. And it turned out that the experience of the adventure and the magic that the adventure brought into my life was very fleeting. Sometimes I would get on the adventure, the vacation, the adventure, and I'd be so worn out from the routine that it took me a few days to come down from the routine and actually get fully into the adventure. Are you feeling me? Something tells me I'm not the only one. And it felt good most of the time. And there's nothing wrong with this pattern. I'm not telling you not to do your life this way. There's nothing wrong here. Just a question. Is it giving you the most of the life you're living? Is it dreaming you into a life now? Not in the future, because you're not promised that. Like right now, is your cup full? Overflowing with joy, fulfillment, contentment? Are you flowing through life? So the question, with whichever one you're living, which they're both right, what more is possible? What more is possible? And I ask this question a lot. And for me, after the brain hemorrhage, I ask this question all the time because my body still has some very serious things going on as a result. What more is possible? What more can I get? How much more is there for me to live? What more awaits me when I create my life as more of an adventure rather than more of the routine with adventure sprinkled in? How will I demolish my comfort zones? How will I expose me to ways that my fears have held me back in the past? What more is possible with my self-awareness if I continuously put myself into an adventure that enables me to learn more about myself, my deepest desires? I love saying that, my deepest desires, and knowing that I'm actively pursuing What are they? Because I don't always know. And what if I consciously put myself into an adventure that enables me to get a better feel for what I'm capable of? Because it's very different today than it was 10 years ago. It's very different today than it was a couple years ago. What can I transform in my ways of greeting challenges or engaging with obstacles and stepping into opportunity? Like even stepping into opportunity, even saying yes might benefit from more adventuresome energy being infused in the me that I am being. Living happy to be me. Magnificent essence. Divine, integrated, spiritual human person. It's an interesting question, this idea of how do I live the adventure? Can I merge routine with out of this world and create something that is just my version of adventure? Can I use the adventure to educate myself about me? Self-awareness, self-mastery is your key to your most exquisite life. Because when those obstacles come up, those opportunities, those bumps in the road, the challenges, when those things come up, either the door is closing and the window's opening, or the window's closing and the door's opening, or there's a big pothole in the middle of the path, and you're banging your head on the rock. It's your self-mastery that creates the way through. You can't always go around. You can't always ignore something and do a bypass. Those things that work on the highway, they don't always work in the countenance of you. So rather than looking for a specific answer, what if you could just continually ask yourself questions? A really good one is, what more is possible? I know this, but what more is possible for me to know? I love that. What more is possible in my love, the engagement of my love? I live here, but what more is possible? I've been here before, but what more is possible now that I'm here again? The adventure is built on continually asking questions, not on making sure you have an answer. And I love this quote. I love this quote from Rainier Maria Wilke. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. Sometimes, this is not the quote anymore. I love the quote. Sometimes we're not ready for the answers. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, is the way we say that sometimes the answer would knock us over because we can't internalize it. We can't embody it. We can't act on it. It's too far beyond where we are at the current moment. But at the current moment, I can at least ask the question. I can at least open myself to the what more is possible. Like, how can I be more ready for the answer? How can I open myself up to a possibility that is the what more? Are you with me? It's pretty cool when you really engage and play with it. So what do? You're in the I think I'd like more adventure. I think I'd like to build my life as an adventure. I love this quote from Oprah Winfrey. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. Wow. Your dream life is the biggest adventure you could take. And I talk to a lot of people, and very few of them say, I'm living my dream. So here's my invitation. Living your dream life could be the biggest adventure you've ever had and the best adventure you've ever had. So how do you do it? How do you live your life like the dream adventure? So obviously the first thing is dream more and dream bigger and dream from your heart space, your heart, the key to your soul, the intuition of you, the connection to higher self, knowingness, ancestors. It's in your heart. Allow your head to quiet with its analytical, very logical, very linear thinking, and allow your heart to lead. You can bring the head in to do certain things, but to get the where am I going and why, that's your heart. And I can tell you, the more I quieted my head and allowed my heart to tell me, this is for me, the more I've felt like I'm living the dream. So number 2 is just allow yourself to dream and dream big. When you really unleash your heart to tell you, this is for me, it will be big. It will surprise you. Could be outrageous. Next, be curious. Be curious. Let what you think you know at every step to quiet, to make room for something new to come in as an influencer. I thought I knew there was no way that living in France would be a possibility for me. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. And I love how easy it was, just in the curiosity of it, exploring the curious parts, that I got the something new, the answers, and I'm still getting them. So be curious. And then I talk about expectancy. So put your radar up. Put your radar up. Expect beauty, freedom, harmony, joy, love, rapture, like love, like all of that. Be in the energy. Whoops, little brain flip there. Be in the energy of expectancy. That is a vibration that is going to call to itself the things that you're looking for, expecting something good, expecting something forward, expecting something bigger, expecting something that contributes to your flow. Radar's up. 2 more. Release, and I'll say this all the time. Living an adventure is a higher vibration engagement in your life. So in order to rise to that higher vibration engagement level, you've got to release the anchors, the vibrations, the low vibration stuff that is rolling around inside you, potentially toxic old energy. It clouds your judgment, which can cause fear and doubt when you actually need faith and trust when you're on an adventure. And it can stifle your yes energy flow, that yes energy that calls to it the things that advance you forward rather than stagnating you or holding you back. Release the low vibration stuff, y'all. The emotional junk in your trunk is not serving you. to go where you want to go and be who you want to be. And last, keep going. It's a never-ending, forever moving toward expansion into wholeness and grace journey. The adventure is constantly in forward motion, expansion, adventure. You don't have to be finding a cure for some horrible disease or summiting some giant mountain, inventing a whole new way of doing whatever that was is now going to be this. You could just get up in the morning and create your life with and through the divine as your adventure. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. And if you're not sure how to do that, I would love for you to get on a What More is Possible call with me. It's an opportunity, not for me to sell you anything, but for me to help you unleash your dreaming so that you can just sit in the possibilities of something more than what is happening right now. We'll put the information in the summary, in the comments or something. I don't know. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. And I wish that for you right now. So that's today's Hump Day Happy Chat. Many blessings from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. I am your host, Dr. Valerie Renee Shepherd. And I close the Hump Day Happy Chat with the Karanaya Metta Sutra, the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. I love this prayer, which is why I probably haven't changed it. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature, your true nature, your soul, your spirit, your inner godliness, your true nature. And may all beings be free. Yay! Many blessings from the Hartley Center. Stay well, choose happy. Bye now.